I do development economics, and for my job market paper, I actually look at social networks and how social networks matter for the diffusion of information. So the idea here is to look at what happens to sharing of information when people perceive information as rival. Meaning people think that, okay, so when I receive this type of information, I think that my benefit is going to decrease when more people know about this information. So imagine that you have like competition on access to something like, I don't know, scholarships or funding opportunities. And then you think, okay, if I tell this to everyone and everyone knows about it, then I'm going to have more competition and it's less likely that I'm going to get this good. Let's put it like that. So why does this matter for development? So usually the way that policies are implemented in developing countries is the following. So a subset of people receive the information or the training about some like new technology or some new different project, and then they are expected to share this knowledge with others. And there's a lot of literature on these, but there's very little that we know when people have like this strategic behavior or strategic incentives to share with maybe with less people, or maybe they will share only like with their very, very close friends who they trust. They will not share it to others. So that's kind of the idea. And here, in order to answer this question, I do a lab game in the field and a field experiment in one relatively large village in Mozambique. So this is a rural setting where everyone is a small farmer, and I start with a lab game. And all of this is then after I collect the complete social network of the village. So you have to imagine that I have the complete graph of all the connections between everyone in the village, and then I select 100 people to start this lab game. So basically a lab game that is like pure monetary incentives to see rival sharing versus non-rival sharing. And then in order to see how this like more lab experiment applies to policy world, I do a similar thing with 2 policy interventions on agriculture. Basically, people are sharing invitations to 2 different trainings in agriculture, where the perceived rivalry varies along these 2 interventions. So, and what do I find? So it seems that people have like these 2 different strategies to deal with rivalry. So when they perceive something as rival, either they have like this straightforward decision, and that is to reduce the number of people they invite or they share information with. And on the other hand, it seems also that people are very strategic on the type of people they share information with. So it seems that they are target. So when you receive this rival type of either in the lab or in the policy, it seems that you target people who are less central in the village, meaning people who are like badly connected to others, so that the information is going to be kept within your group. And in terms of policy, it seems to matter, because usually the way that we design policy interventions and who are the best people, for example, to be the first ones informed in a community, it's that, okay, we should inform first the people who are more central in the village. But in the case of this rival information, people who are more central, they know that their friends are also more central, so that if they invite, for example, one person, the probability that it's going to spread very quickly, it's very large. So actually, more central people share less rival information compared with less central people. So you should, like, if this rival it's important for your policy, actually you should not target these more central people. But I still need to do more research on that area, because I only have like some preliminary results. But yeah, that's the idea.